It's good to have you here with us on this New Year's Eve. Temperatures are surprisingly mild for late December, and the rain moved out in time for downtown Spokane's fireworks display, but there's more active weather as we head into the new year. Meteorologist Michelle Boss in the Weather Center now with the details. Michelle?
Yeah, we may have seen into the heavy rain, but we still have wind to contend with, some mild temperatures, and still some heavy snow expected for the mountains. So let's take a look at where temperatures are right now, which may surprise you. We started off in the low 30s this morning and have been warming up ever since. Right before midnight, an hour before midnight, we're sitting at 41 degrees. Our average high this time of year is 32, so we're about 10 degrees above our average high temperature. 37 in Coeur d'Alene, very mild even up in North Idaho. 37 in Sandpoint, 46 degrees right now in Pullman, and also 46 in Moses Lake, into the 50s from Othello down into the Tri-Cities. As you can see on satellite and radar, still getting plenty of precipitation over the Cascades and across the central Panhandle Mountains, but fortunately the rain kind of shut off in time for the evening's festivities. We do still have some winter weather advisories in effect until tomorrow morning across the central Panhandle into northwest Montana. Still looking at 5 to 10 inches of snow in those higher elevations above 3,000 feet. And the Cascades, which saw rain this morning, are going to start to see some snow overnight and tomorrow. And Lookout Pass could see, Snoqualmie Pass could see 2 to 6 inches of snow. Stevens Pass could see 8 to 14 inches. Here's a look at the next 3 days here locally in Spokane. Highs will be in the mid 40s tomorrow. Could still see a few showers, but mainly just windy and cloudy. Thursday, some isolated snow showers, a little bit cooler, highs in the upper 30s, and warming it right back up on Friday. Slight chance of some rain and snow and highs in the lower 40s.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Well, there's new concerns tonight about the state's snowpack after the Capitol Press reported it's 47% of what it should be. It's the third slowest start in snow accumulation since the 90s, and we just saw one of the driest Novembers on record. If the snowpack doesn't pick up, the 5 reservoirs that feed the Yakima Basin will not be filled up in time for summer. Well, a 16-year-old climber was rescued after falling approximately 500 feet on Mount Hood and injuring his leg on Monday morning. The rescue took several hours because the location and elevation where the teen fell at is more than 10,000 feet. The climber fell from the Pearly Gates area of Mount Hood to the Devil's Kitchen. Rescuers described the climber as stable but did not say the extent of his injuries. The Washington State Department of Transportation has a warning for drivers: give plenty of room for snowplows on the road. WashDOT posted this picture on Twitter showing an 18-wheeler tailgating one of their vehicles. Plows go much slower when clearing the roads, even at 35 miles per hour or less, and that's even if the speed limit says 70. Well, there are quite a few changes coming up for Washington drivers this week. Today, the state will end its vehicle emissions check program after nearly 40 years. That means in the new year, emissions tests will not be required to renew vehicle registrations. The state decided to end the program because our air quality and vehicle technology and fuel has improved significantly since it began testing cars in 1982. And starting tomorrow, drivers who overtake and pass, follow too closely, or fail to yield to pedestrians and cyclists will be fined an additional penalty. The money from fines collected will then be used to fund education for officers, prosecutors, and judges who are looking for opportunities in traffic violation enforcement. Also tomorrow, a new motorcycle law goes into effect. To get a motorcycle permit, drivers will have to pass a basic knowledge and skills test. This was never needed before in the permit stage. If you want a motorcycle license, you'll have to pass an advanced knowledge and skills test. Before this new law was passed, motorcyclists could either take an exam or complete a training program to earn their license. Over on the west side, a Seattle woman says a profane note left on her doorstep by a Home Depot delivery person left her frightened. The note included the date and time of the missed delivery, but it also included an acronym that would make most people feel threatened. Callie Greenberg with our Seattle sister station spoke with the recipient.
When Laura Zarowski missed a Home Depot delivery at her new home in Seattle, the note left behind left her in disbelief.
It listed the date at what time they had come, and at the bottom was written either an acronym or a word, depending on how you want to look at it, that was incredibly offensive.
Laura called Home Depot's customer service, who shared what the driver's acronym meant.
She said, "Oh, I talked to the driver and he says it means see you next time." I didn't accept that as an answer, as I think most people wouldn't.
See you next time, an acronym that spells a word we can't show on television. Lara told customer service it was offensive. She said the company didn't apologize for the note until Lara canceled her order and posted a photo on Twitter. There, the company said it's looking into the matter further, and they apologized for this behavior.
They had and they still have an obligation to make this right.
She believes this was a basic misdelivery, but says when words like this are used, even as an acronym, they need to be called out.
I just really would want this person to understand that that's a frightening thing that they did. They actually invoked fear. For whatever reason they felt compelled to do that. It's a scary response for a woman coming home knowing that the person who just left that note knows exactly where she lives and, could be back at any time.
Frightening for sure.